Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit more of a focused review than what I normally do on this channel because I wanted to make a video about a company called Deciem, and this isn't sponsored at all, it's just something that I have been really interested to learn about over the past few months, and also I'm super hyped about a lot of their products and I wanted to talk about them, but they're actually also a very confusing company, and I will explain a little bit more about that in this video. So if you guys have heard anything about them or any of their brands and you're interested to know more, hopefully I'll be able to talk about them in this video in a way that is kind of easier to understand, because a lot of the stuff that they put out is fairly confusing and it's kind of intentionally like that. And this video is going to be a little bit of an extension to my drugstore month series, because although these are not necessarily drugstore products, I actually think one of them might be in Boots, but that aside, especially the ordinary products are very, very affordable. So I know I did a kind of best in drugstore skincare video earlier this month. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out if you want more kind of affordable skincare recommendations. But I wanted to include this as a kind of extension of that because I've discovered a lot of these products this month and I just think they're amazing and wanted to share them with you all. So Deciem are a company that own about 10 brands within the beauty space. So if you've heard anything about The Ordinary, which there has been a huge amount of hype about over the past few months online, NIOD, the chemistry brands, Stem, Fountain, Hif, White RX, and Ab Crew. So yeah, a lot of different brands under one umbrella. And basically, even though this company Deciem owns all of these brands, they're all quite different yet similar at the same time. They're kind of all quite sciencey, kind of geeky skincare brands that to somebody who doesn't know very much about skincare is very confusing, especially NIOD, and I'll get onto that a little bit more in a bit because a lot of them don't actually necessarily say what they do. So unless you know about ingredients in skincare, you're probably not going to know exactly what these products are for. But the Deciem website actually does a really good job of explaining what everything does. You just have to be a little bit patient and be willing to like read through the blurb of it. But trust me when I say it's worth doing because their products are amazing. So in this video, I wanted to give you a bit of an introduction to the brand, and that is it. They're a Canadian company. They started in 2013. You can get them in the UK. I actually found out more about them when I was in Toronto a couple of weeks ago, and I'd had a few of their products before, especially from NIOD. I got sent like a whole range of NIOD products, and to be honest, I didn't know anything about the brand. Tried a couple of things and really liked them, and then didn't really think any more into it. And then when I went to Toronto, I went to visit the store and learned a lot more about all of their other brands and tried out a lot more of their products and have been impressed by every single one. And that is quite something when it comes to skincare, because I feel like I don't deviate from my skincare routine that often. So trying to structure this review in a way that makes sense is actually kind of hard, but that's my intro to the brand, and I'm going to start off by talking about The Ordinary because I feel like that's what a lot of you guys, if you've searched and found this video, is what you will be looking for. So what The Ordinary claim to do is to strip back their skincare to a really basic level using ingredients that are actually like proven to work, not kind of using any filler ingredients or expensive newer ingredients that aren't necessarily clinically proven. There's none of that in any of their skincare. It's all very basic. The packaging is very basic, and the price point of them is also very, very low, to the point where the most expensive product from their range is £12, and the cheapest I think is like around the £4 mark. So super, super affordable, but have amazing ingredients that actually work. And I have to say, I've tried 4 products from them, which I'm going to talk about in this video, and they're all freaking amazing. Like, I've absolutely loved them. I've noticed a difference in my skin, some of them instantaneously, and I am a massive, massive fan. So they don't have too many products within the whole range. Most of them are serums, and I have 2 of their serums which I absolutely love. The first one is the Advanced Retinoid 2%, which if you guys have used retinol before, or retinoid products, you'll know that the way they work is kind of complicated, and I'm not going to go into it in any detail in this video because we'll be here all day, and it's just easier if you read about it, to be quite honest. And their website does such a good job of explaining the difference between what is in this product and what is in their retinol product, which is a 1% retinol. But I have actually found this to be the most effective retinol-based product that I've used. It's also the cheapest by a long, long way. and the texture is really, really nice. The actual product itself is really nice. So I would definitely recommend, if you are interested in retinol products, which are one of the only kind of proven anti-aging ingredients in skincare, then to go and check this out on their website and learn a bit more about it if you're interested in retinol. I don't find that this irritates my skin in any way. It definitely does cause a little bit of peeling and dryness, but it doesn't give me any irritation, which is common with retinol stuff. So definitely 100% recommend that. And then the other serum that I've been using from them is the hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5, which is a hydrating serum. So those of you who know more about skincare than normal people, and probably more about skincare than me, because I'm not a kind of scientist on that level. Like, I know about certain ingredients in skincare, but I don't know anything too specific. So if you don't know about hyaluronic acid, I would 100% recommend going to read about it. But it's basically an ingredient that is used in a lot of skincare as a hydrating ingredient, because it attracts water and it can hold huge, like, I think it's like 1,000 times more water than its own weight or something ridiculous like that. And it's naturally occurring in the skin. But what this serum does is it has different types of hyaluronic acid that can penetrate to different layers of the skin, so that you're actually hydrating different layers of the skin instead of just hydrating like the surface layer, which actually can sometimes apparently pull moisture out of the skin. And it also has B5 in it as well, which is a hydrating ingredient. The texture is really nice. It sinks straight into your skin. It feels really, really nice when you apply it, but actually instantly you will notice a difference in the hydration of your skin. I'm a massive fan. And yeah, from the first time I used it, this is one of those products that you see kind of instant results with, as opposed to having to wait a little bit of time like retinol products. So yeah, 100% would recommend that. The other product that I bought when I was in Canada was the azelaic acid suspension 10%. And this is based on brightening. So if you have any issues with skin pigmentation, also is apparently really good for acne prone skin or like breakouts. I don't actually have acne prone skin, so in my experience, I can't really give you any advice on that front, but I actually really like this, and the texture of this is actually very, very similar to the Lancer vitamin C product that I've used before, which I actually didn't get on with that well, but it's very kind of, almost feels like a primer. It's very like smoothing on the skin, but you can use this in the morning and in the evening, and it will just really help to target kind of brightening. I have been really liking using this. Again, this is something that probably takes a little bit longer to see results, so I can't really talk too much about the results from this one as much as from the other two serums that I've tried, but like first impressions, I've been really impressed by it. And then the last product I tried from The Ordinary, it definitely won't be the last one because like I love this one as well, is the High-Spreadability Fluid Primer, and this is new. It's basically a silicone based primer, and this is what I really like about this brand, is that they aren't making any kind of crazy claims that aren't proven. They're just like, silicone primers work really well. Some people love them, some people hate them. Like, whether or not you are a silicone primer person is totally up to you, but they do work really, really well as primers, and your makeup applies flawlessly over the top. And this one is probably the best one I've ever used as well. It's so smooth and just works really well as makeup primer, and yeah, I'm a massive fan of that as well. So everything I've tried from The Ordinary, I've been so impressed with. And if you do take the time to go and read the website and actually learn a bit more about the products, it is actually quite simple, and you can kind of educate yourself about the ingredients if you don't know about them already. And if you do know a lot about skincare and you know your stuff when it comes to ingredients, then it just gives you a bit more information about how the brand works and why they've used certain variations of certain ingredients. So when it comes to retinol, they have a retinoid product and a retinol product with different percentages based on what you want. So that's what I really like about them. Like, I feel like they're never going to be totally mainstream, because for the average kind of consumer on the street, they probably don't know or take the time to learn about the specific ingredients in their skincare. But if you are into your skincare, it's amazing, because it's making really effective products really affordable, and that's so awesome. That's probably my favourite kind of brands that they own, but they do also own, like I said at the beginning, a lot of other brands. And there's two other ones that I wanted to talk about, NIOD being the first one, because their mask, their mud mask, is the best mud mask I've ever used. It's amazing. I've been using this since probably November, actually I think maybe October. It's their Flavanone Mud. And this is what I mean about the fact that their products are very confusing, because they don't say what they do. It's kind of like, you know, it doesn't say a mask, it doesn't say whatever, it's in this pot that you open it up, and it's this quite aggressive looking, like coppery kind of red clay, and you're like, oh, I don't really know how this works. Kind of confusing, but if you go on their website, it gives you a lot more info and it like tells you how to use everything and things. Basically, this is a skin decongesting, kind of purifying mask, and you apply like a really, really thin layer on, and it actually feels quite bizarre on the skin because it almost tingles and stings a bit after you've washed it off, which it's meant to. It actually says on the bottle, like, a strong temporary stinging sensation will occur, especially after the product has been rinsed off. But honestly, this is just so good for clearing out your pores. If you use mud masks anyway as a kind of purifying, kind of decongesting step in your skincare routine, I would 100% recommend checking this out. NIOD is the more expensive range as part of the Deciem family. This is £29, so it's a lot different in price to the Ordinary. And I know from like everything I've read about them, like, it's interesting how they've kind of structured it, because the Ordinary, even though it is really effective, it's a lot more basic in terms of how they formulated the product. So even though NIOD next to it seems very, very expensive, there's actually more technology that's gone into the product. So the Ordinary is almost like, if you want a basic hyaluronic acid, a basic retinol product, you can go to them for it. But if you want something a little bit more advanced, you can go to NIOD. And then the other brand that I've tried from the Deciem family is the chemistry brand. And my favourite product is the HA3 hand hydrator. They actually have another hand cream that is in pink packaging. I can't remember the exact name, but it's their bestseller. It's like the most popular product that they make. And actually, I have to say, I don't really like it because I found it really greasy. But this one, I absolutely love. So it's formulated with hyaluronic acid, mango butter, and Inca Ichi butter, which is actually a product that I have only, or an ingredient that I've only ever seen in hair products before, as being kind of like advertised as part of hair products. But it's super, super hydrating. And I've had such dry hands over the past few months because my hands get really dry when it gets cold. And I'm not like the biggest hand cream person, you know, like I'm not one of those people that always wants to put on hand cream. I find it a bit of a chore because I hate having greasy hands. But this is so not greasy. It literally sinks into your skin within like a second. It smells kind of fresh and lemony, which if you don't like citrus scents, it's obviously not going to be for you. And this size, which is the 60ml, is £7. So it's kind of mid-range for a hand cream. It's not super, super cheap, but at the same time, it's like affordable and it really is good. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I'll pop a link below to the Deciem website. Once again, this is not sponsored. I honestly just discovered these products and really freaking love them. So I wanted to share them with you all, and I'll see you again next time. Bye, guys.